If you could choose to interview your ideal dream guest, but you had to replace one host, who would it be?
Just because, I'm gonna say. Welcome everyone to episode 4 of Juvenile Reports podcast. I'm Lance Salon and I'm joined by the usual Sasuke and Caleb. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a Q&A. We're just going to be answering some questions you guys had for us throughout the episodes. And as well, we're going to be answering some questions we thought you guys might have for us as well. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, would you do a video podcast?
Yes. If we have the resource materials and stuff, yes. I'm down.
Honestly, there's nothing that is planned out right now that I could talk of, but I would really love to do a video podcast. I think that would be great for retention and also for getting closer to the audience. I think that would be great. But right now, at the current moment, we don't have anything planned. But I would really be down to doing a video podcast.
I don't think I'm ready to do a video podcast because somehow I think it requires a lot of confidence, which I don't think I lack or anything. But I think I need a lot of training, a lot of media training and all of that stuff to actually stand up and make a video podcast, which eventually I'll get, or if not, well, we'll see what happens.
Question number 2. How was the feedback from the audience? Well, so far I've been receiving a good feedbacks from you guys. I think that will go the same for the rest of the hosts. And yeah, I'm getting a good feedback.
Well, the feedback from the audience was very great. It was very encouraging. It was very open and all of that stuff. People ask, people reply, and people really want more from us, and we are willing to do that.
It's a great community in the making. I love how the audience has grown more than just a bunch of fans and listeners, but into actual people who have a say on the things that we talk about on the podcast, and I think that is really great.
Any special plans for New Year's? We haven't really talked about it, but I hope there will be. I hope so.
Me personally, I don't think there are plans for New Year's. I'm a very busy person as of now, but maybe we will have something. I don't know. Just stay tuned. Lance maybe might tell you something. Maybe Kay has something. I don't know.
I do have the idea of doing something like that for New Year's, but I don't necessarily have a written down plan of how and when and where. And I don't think the other hosts also know as well. So for now, we got nothing to show.
This is a very funny question. It says, are you doing episode 4 like this? Because you haven't recorded an actual episode where it's actually, I don't know. It's a yes and a no. Actually, it's a yes. Most definitely a yes, but it has reasons. One of the reasons is K, and I don't know how he's going to explain it, but I hope he does. One of the reasons was K, and I think the second reason was, I think the episode was it was very controversial for two people to just sit down and talk about it, and we wanted to invite guests and all that stuff, but I think the day we were going to record, we didn't have enough time, so that's why.
That's actually my fault. I was not around with the boys to record an actual episode, so yeah, that's kind of my fault.
Yes, we're doing an episode like this because we haven't recorded an actual episode. That is true. Yeah, we were supposed to talk about something else for episode 4, but one of us decided not to show up last minute, so we didn't want to just record an episode with the two of us. We didn't want to break the trio. Like, it's not even something special, but we just didn't want to do that. So yeah, we're doing episode 4 like this now.
Who is the wisest among the three of you guys? Well, I'll say Sauce because he has been saying some wise words the past 3 episodes, you know.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Wisdom is not something I can generally, just say, oh my god, this guy is very wise and all that stuff. But me, if I had to point out someone, wisdom wise, I would say it's Lance. Because, I don't know, Lance gives many ideas that I do not think about. And he's a rapper, and his rapping ability mixed with his wordplay and all that stuff, and even in his raps, the things he says are very awakening for me. I don't know, he's like 3 years younger than me or 2, but for someone that's like very young, he knows a lot, and I think that's why I'd say Lance. But also Kay is a very wisdom-filled person.
If I have to choose, I gotta say Sasuke, because one, he's the oldest among all of us. I'm like the youngest. Then we got Caleb. Then we got Sasuke. And the second is he's pretty good with his words. With his choice of words, he's pretty good. And as well, he has a good, what do you call it? Work ethic as well, and he takes stuff seriously when you have to take stuff seriously. He has a good understanding of his environment and his surrounding, and he's pretty knowledgeable about the things that he does. And I think this is good quality, some good qualities of him that make him quite wise amongst us.
If you could choose to interview your ideal dream guest, but you had to replace one host, who would it be? My ideal dream host, I don't know. I think it would be Lecrae, because the other day I was talking with one of my colleagues, and he told me how he grew up and all that stuff, and it was very encouraging, especially as a Christian. It was very encouraging for me to hear Lecrae's story, and I think if I had Lecrae on our podcast, I would very much love so. I would not replace anyone. We do not want any beef between us.
Well, it would be exciting to have my ideal dream guest, but I'm not gonna replace it with the host. So I'm good with the boys. We're actually doing good, Slizzy.
I don't have any name on the top of my head on who I would, be my, dream guest. But I would say if I could do the episode with Yafit Tesfaye, the Ethiopian Christian rapper, again, it would be totally amazing, because last time I did it, well, I didn't do him much justice with the audio quality. As he said, we talked about so many great things, and I believe that a lot of people would have learned a lot of stuff from the things that he said. A lot of his stories were actually pretty interesting and pretty deep, and I would have loved if people have given attention to what he said if it wasn't for the horrendous audio quality. So I would really love to redo the episode that I did last year with him. And who I would replace, I wouldn't replace anyone, to be honest. This trio got us 4 episodes into the series, and I wouldn't trade it for anyone else. It's the same bond that made us not to record episode 4 just the 2 of us, and just to wait and do this episode again as a 3. I wouldn't change this trio at all. What is an episode you think would get a lot of attention if made?
It would be an episode about Andrew Tate. That's about it. I don't have any much more to say about this.
Well, we've been already discussing about making an episode about Andrew Tate. It is already in plans, and I think it is probably gonna get the most attention. Not only gonna get the most attention because it's a very popular topic and the most trending topic right now, but because it is the most requested thing to talk about. All of our friends, when we meet them, they say, when are you gonna talk about Andrew Tate? The DMs are flooded with his name, and who knows? With this much interest, we might as well make an episode about Andrew Tate.
There are a lot of topics we can talk about that can get a lot of attentions, but I'll say soccer, because the Premier League started like 5 or 4 weeks ago. Champions League is gonna begin. World Cup's coming up, so I think this soccer will be a great topic to talk about to get a lot of attention if we made it.
And the last question, do you have a setup for your podcast? The answer is no, we don't. Our podcast is recorded in a room which we chose for less reverb and no echoes, but we eventually will grow. Eventually with more listeners, we're hoping we're gonna grow.
We don't have a setup. We don't even have a place to record. We just record at a room that has the least amount of echo at church on our phones. And till now, it's pretty good, I guess. Each of us hold a separate phone. We record and then we sync up the audio later on. And yeah, we don't really have much of a setup, to be honest.
Well, no, I think we're actually using our phones to record the things we say. So, well, that would explain why some of the voices are terrible. So we're using our phones to record this. I'm like literally using my phone right now to do this Q&A. So yeah, I think this is it for the questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Adios.